Students, today we shall discuss about circulatory system part 2. In the previous class we had discussed about the blood components, that is blood plasma and blood cells or corpuscles. Today we shall discuss about blood vessels. The blood vessels are of three types: arteries, vein and capillaries. Let us discuss about artery first. What is artery? It is a type of blood vessels. A type of blood vessels which transports, or you can say carries oxygen from, that is oxygenated blood, from heart to tissues, that is specific organ. Now, artery, their structure, as you can see, is made up of three layers. Shadows coming. Outer thick wall, middle layer, and then innermost layer. It is also called as tunica externa, made up of connective tissue, middle layer, which is made up of smooth muscles and elastic fibers, and the diameter is narrow. In arteries, as you can find, what are the other important features is that the arteries, the blood flows in it with jerks or spurts. Spurts means jerks. Why? Because the blood flows towards the gravity, that is at a high pressure. So blood flows with spurts. Another characteristic features of artery is that the walls of the muscles are muscular and thick. The blood in it the arteries do not have any valves present, which is the main difference between artery and vein, and the other feature is that it is their functions. Arteries branch into arterioles. Now, which is the largest artery? The largest artery is the aorta. Which branch into further arteries and arterioles. Like you have the pulmonary artery, which carries the deoxygenated blood. As discussed earlier, arteries carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. Arteries, as you can observe, they are bright red in color. Another characteristic feature, and they are deeply seated. That's why they are not easily seen. They are deeply seated. Next blood vessels that we are going to discuss is veins. Vein is also a type of blood vessels that carries deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated means what? That is blood containing more amount of CO2. We had discussed that the blood can carry oxygen, that is the hemoglobin, carries oxygen in the form of oxyhemoglobin, as well as some amount of CO2 is also carried in the form of carbinohemoglobin. Now, when we talk about the veins, as you can see, these are also made up of 3 layers, that is outer wall, which is also known as tunica externa. It is comparatively thinner than the arteries. Then you have the middle layer made up of again muscles, smooth muscles and elastic fibers and a large diameter. The characteristic feature of veins are that they have valves. What are valves? Valves are structures, pocket-shaped structures that helps in the transportation of blood. What is the important function? The important function of valves is that they prevent the backflow of blood. The veins carry blood from the tissues or organs back to the heart. Since the blood flows against the gravity, these valves are present in the veins to prevent the backflow. We have 2 largest veins, which are the largest veins in the body, human body. They are called as superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Also known as anterior vein and posterior vein. The veins branch into fine structures called as venules. When we talk about the diffusion, next is the capillaries. What about the capillaries? This is also another type of blood vessels which are very minute, very small, as you can say. They are about 8 micrometers in diameter. And another characteristic feature is that they are made up of only a single layer of endothelial cells. Single layer of endothelium, that is squamous epithelium. These capillaries do not have any muscles. They help to connect arteries and veins. For example, this is the artery. They branch up into arterioles as they reach the cells or the tissues. For example, let us consider this as a cell. These arterioles, this is the artery. These are the arterioles. They carry oxygenated blood which diffuse into the cells where they help in the breakdown of food in cellular respiration, that is at mitochondria. During this process, carbon dioxide is given out, which are then picked up by smaller venules. Venules, we have discussed earlier, are structures which are, that is, the veins branch into venules. Venules then unite to form the veins, and they carry the CO2 back to heart. Then we have the functions of blood. Before coming to blood, what is the function of capillaries? They help in the diffusion of gases, inward diffusion of carbon dioxide, outward diffusion of O2, waste materials, and in WBC cells, that is the leukocytes, they help to squeeze in the process called as diapedesis. Functions of blood, they help to carry digested food, gases, hormones, waste products, urea, as well as they help to regulate temperature. These are some of the important functions of blood. So, as we had discussed today, what are blood vessels? These are structures which help in the transportation of blood from heart to different parts of the body and vice versa. We have three types: arteries, veins, and capillaries. Don't bring your hand. Then we come to capillaries. Start from the beginning. If you have any doubts, any queries, you can write it in the comment section and I shall clear your doubts. Please go through the video as the assignment given are related to the topic.